All right. So, Ed, how's it going?
Good. How you doing tonight, Rose?
Doing good. Doing good. I watched Jurassic World yesterday.
Oh yeah, you were saying
And
that over the weekend that you were going to check it out. How was it?
it was hella good. It was really good. There was no symbolism and color coding, just, your typical blue and red, but not like over the top at all. Just sprinkled, which was normal. And then you'd see an occasional pyramid, but it was like, kind of like some signs just use the pyramid.
Right.
It was just normal. It was, yeah, it wasn't over the top like I thought it might be. It was really good though. They did a good job.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't blatant right in your face, huh?
No, nothing. No.
Huh.
Mm-mm.
You,
Nope.
you, you know, I've been seeing the advertisements on the TV every once in a while. I mean, yes, I'll admit to everybody live on here, I watch TV, but the stations that I watch, I'll admit I like History Channel, and I watch a little. Whether hey, if people want to say it's stupid or not, whatever. I like American Pickers. I like a little bit of Pawn Stars because they have history related subjects on that sometimes. So
Right, because they come across like things that like stay in the storage bins and stuff that, they go and ask, well, how much is this and what is this? You know what I mean? Sometimes they don't even know what it is.
exactly.
They have someone, yeah, tell them it's worth, $10,000, and it's like, wow, this is from the 1957 era or whatever, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and like I said, that's the thing I like about the History Channel, at least for that. And I keep it simple. Like I said, I'm not whatever. Some people call it garbage TV and whatnot, but like I said, I'm very picky when it comes to certain channels. At least a History Channel I'll watch, and that's
Mm.
about it. But other besides that, no, I can't. Just like most of us, we can't stand watching regular propagandized, regular news. It's so depressing and it's so full of false narrative and bullshit. Oh no, the borders are open. ISIL's coming to get us again, right? The next boogeyman.
Yeah, have you seen that one lady? I think she's a judge, and I saw a clip of her, and she's all ISIS or ISIL, whatever they keep changing the name. Wants to kill you. They want to kill me. They want to kill your family. They want us dead. And I was like, whoa, seriously, calm.
Yeah, talk about fear mongering on steroids, huh? I,
It
I
was
didn't
really
catch I didn't catch that one. What was that on? Like a regular channel 10 or 12 or something?
no, no, no. One of the Fox News or CNN News. She's like
Oh
a
wow.
judge. She has brown hair. I mean, I could look it up, but yeah, I was like, wow, that's crazy. Um, I mean, I should have had the clip right here, but I didn't know we were going to talk about that. But yeah, I watch Netflix because I can't deal with the advertisements. I cannot stand advertisements. Uh, you know,
I
so
I can't stand advertisements when I go to check out somebody's video on YouTube and they don't have the ad blocker on it. And I'm like, great, now I got to sit through, what is it? If you don't hit the skip ad, you're going to at least be on there, what, 15 to 30 seconds max while the ad goes through. And it's like, the one that I keep seeing, I got to bring this up. It's crazy. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's a Solar City ad.
no, what is it about?
Oh my lord. Okay, so yeah, I'm seeing this advertisement on YouTube all the freaking time. They keep playing it over and over again, like they're just trying to beat it into our head. It's a Solar City ad, and obviously it's about uh, relying on the power of the sun, right? Because solar company, Solar City,
Right.
and I can't pull it up right now because I'm not on my laptop. Maybe you can, but I'm sure if you went on Google or YouTube and you typed in newest Solar City ad, it is basically one of the main characters in the commercial that is this regular average Joe's guy's housekeeper, and it's the god Ra,
Oh wow.
and it's got the feathered eagle head you
Oh.
know, and then the buff tan human body, and he's going around the living room with a freaking vacuum cleaner doing his chores and whatnot, and then he kind of gets distracted and he bends down and he looks at the guy's fish tank, and he's like thinking he wants to eat his fish, and so the average Joe guy's sitting there on the couch watching whatever TV, right, eating his GMOs and everything, and he's got his neighbor buddy there with him, and he turns and he looks to him and he goes, raw. And Ra looks at him and he's like, Raw. And he's like, eh! And then he's like, what are you doing? He's like, no, 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 no. He's like, get away from the fish tank. And then he looks at his buddy and he's like, oh, we just put Raw on a new diet. He gets real tense and stressed out when he can't have what he normally eats. And it just goes back to like focusing on Raw. And then Raw kind of gets butt hurt and whatever. He goes back to his house chores. And then it kind of just pulls away and then it comes
Oh,
back on
I
Raw
have it.
again.
I have it right here. You want to
Yeah.
watch it?
Yeah,
Hoax commercial at home with Raw with the fish tank.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll put it on right now. Here we go. Can you see?
I don't think I'm going to be able to see it because I'm on my tablet, but you can try to screen share it. It might go through.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not going to work when I'm on my tablet, but yeah, you got the idea of it, right?
Yeah, other people will be able to see it though. So, wow. So I'm gonna could you hear it?
Oh no, I couldn't hear it. I couldn't see it. It just went to dead silence
Oh.
until you came back to me.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, now like I said, that commercial I've been seeing on whatever YouTube advertisements for quite a while, but I've seen it on. I first saw it on regular TV, and I
Mhm.
was like, oh wow. I was like, sooner or later, if I catch that, maybe I can, But by the time the freaking commercial's over, because I don't have a DVR. If I had a DVR, I could record that and then play it back and then record it from either my tablet or laptop and then throw it out there on YouTube and let everybody see. But I'm sure I'm not the first person in the YouTube community to catch that freaking ad. But I haven't seen anybody make a video on that yet.
Well, I just showed it right now, so that's cool. Oh, and also the lady I was talking about, her name is Judge Jeannie Pirro, and this was done January 10th, 2000. Not sure, but hold on, I'm gonna play it for other people that might watch this. So if you don't mind, just hold on a second.
You got it. Yep.
Okay, cool. Can you hear it?
I can hear it very little. It's like very faint in the background. I'll turn up my volume and see what's up.
Okay.
Yeah, you're loud as shit. You're blasting in my ear, but yeah, yeah, it's very low in the background, very faint. I can't make it out, but I can kind of, it sounds like whispers to me.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Hey, Neo Cloud just said hi, and I said come on in, everyone. So you might be
Okay.
having some people coming on here. I don't know
Okay.
who else is in here. What's that? Skywarp? Yeah, Skywarp's here.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna
Oh,
finish playing this real quick, and you keep doing whatever you do. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. NeoCloud says I'm tired, so I don't think. Yeah. Fear porn propaganda is here.
Okay.
Do you want to? Can you post a link for them to come in, or they already have the invite? All they have to do is just click on in.
Do you have the link or no?
No, I don't have the link. I was gonna
Oh,
say if you can, like on the side chat here, what's going on? If you can post the link in there,
okay. I don't know how to get them links. I think I send it out and then I don't.
I'll ask them. Let's see here.
It's okay. I'll put it right here.
Okay,
Oh, I have to finish this first. I think. Hold on. Um,
I'll just ask them right now. Did you guys get invites and see what they say, if you don't mind?
no, of course not.
Okay.
No.
Well, let's see what they say.
Mm,
Skywarp says it's 11:11.
okay. There's the link right there.
Okay, NeoCloud says yeah, I got an invite.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna finish this real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
Shit. I don't even know if. Damn it. All right. All right. I'm gonna get out of there. Damn it. Okay. Well, anyways, that's the point. I don't know if I had to unmute myself for people to hear it, but you saw the raw video of the commercial, and then you see Judge, what's her name,
Oh yeah,
talking about how,
Peroni or yeah.
yeah, that's her, yeah, how they want to kill you, they want to destroy me, they want to destroy you, and blah 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 blah. It's like, holy crap, that is like beyond fear porn at that point.
NeoCloud is asking what happened to Jade Helm.
Well, I don't know. People have been posting stuff about it. Have you heard anything? Because nothing's happening where I'm at that I know of. I
Uh,
mean, I'm not everywhere in my city, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I know a little bit. Every once in a while, somebody will post something on it, but I really haven't been keeping up with it. I haven't been looking into it. I mean, to me, I could be wrong again, but my opinion, man, I don't know. There's a part of me that says, it's just, it's the same thing again. It's a lot of, getting everybody in fear. The boogeyman's coming, but at the same time, then when you look at all the practice drills going on, you keep that in the back of your mind, right? You're like, well, maybe it's just a matter of time. They're going to start, slowly but surely doing martial law from the East Coast to West Coast. It's just a matter of time, right?
Well, it's West Coast to East Coast, supposedly, but
Oh,
the
yeah,
thing is, these were documents that were on the military website, on their website. Not that it means it isn't still propaganda, of course. That's a
right.
possibility. See how people are going to respond? If people don't find the document, if people do find the document, how much they're spreading the word, how much people are getting upset about it, and it's all about our reaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Problem,
exactly.
reaction, so yeah, problem, reaction, solution. So if you don't react to it, there's no problem. I think, I don't know, but
Yeah, in my opinion, I kind of think that's what they're looking for. They're looking for enough people to get, in that mindset, that frame of mind to where, oh God, well, we got to run to Big Brother. We got to run to big government. Oh, help us, please. Yes, militarize every community, every neighborhood, state by state. Please protect us, take care of us. Oh, if we need a curfew just because, yeah, ISIS with what they're funded with Toyotas with machine guns strapped on their backs. They're
mhm.
gonna take over us, really?
There's always a boogeyman. Ever since I,
Yeah.
I was a little girl, there's always that boogeyman. It was Russia, then it's all these different. it's you always got to have somebody there for you to be scared of, and you know, for people to be worried about, but the thing is, this is all their own creation though, and that's what's messed up about it, is that they created all this stuff. There's no such thing. There's no ISIS. Oh, well, there is ISIS, yeah, but they're CIA. I mean, we we made them. So
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And again, from time to time, I know when I'm on podcast or even if I'm doing one myself, I'm always gonna. That's why I like the guy so much, Truth Virus, because he
Hmm.
kind of breaks that down. He just talks about, sometimes he'll talk about chakra levels, and he'll be like, that's why they do what they are doing because they're distracting us. They're keeping us disillusioned. They're keeping us in fear. They want us in that consistent lower chakra level of fear and anxiety and hatred. And
Right.
again, that's what goes with the point that you just brought up. Problem, reaction, solution. Subdivisions, conquer and divide. I mean, it's real simple once you actually start thinking about it, analyze it just enough to get the basics to go. Yeah, we call you out. We know you're bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So
Uh, going back. I mean, if you don't mind going back to your analyzation of the newest Jurassic Park movie. So were you pretty much done on your review of that, or did you have any more to say on that? Or
well, Chris Pratt was gorgeous like always. The the dinosaurs were awesome. They brought back the original dinosaur from the first one, um, that attacked the what's that called, the little jeep with the kids and them in it. So they brought him back in at the end, and it was pretty cool, man. It was cool.
how
They did
how
a good
was
job.
How was, because I remember they show the scene on the TV advertisement commercial, what have
Mhm.
you, where they're like, I don't know, it's like a big wading pool, right? Like on steroids for Shamu, and they're like, oh, they said something to the audience, and they're like, oh yeah, wait a second, don't be alarmed, and then all of a sudden they have like a huge like megalodon,
Yeah.
freaking shark is bait, and then all of a sudden this massive freaking, I
Yeah.
don't even know what it was, came up out of the water. And
Well, they were doing hybrids. I don't want to do too much spoilers, so spoiler alert.
okay,
But they were doing hybrids.
okay.
Yeah, they were splicing them and creating the better theme attraction. And of course, you can't do that. I don't want to tell you what the main one was about, what it was, because that's part of the movie. But when you it was just all wrong, you know.
Yeah,
It was,
when I first started seeing those commercials on TV, like my wife was in the room, and I turned to her and I was like, no, I'm gonna wait till that comes out on Redbox. I'm like, I'm not. I mean, just in my opinion, I'm like, I'm not wasting my good hard-earned money on something that I'm pretty sure it's got to be pretty much the same plot. Like, everything's all warm and fuzzy colored rainbows and everything. It's like, oh, this is so great. And oh, I wonder what's gonna happen. They're gonna turn on people and start eating them. Like it's so easy to figure out. I don't know. That
well,
was,
yeah.
that was just me.
Well, yeah. Well, if you anyone who's watched Jurassic Park is gonna know that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know
That's
what? Like I said, yeah, when it comes out on Redbox, hey, whatever. I'm gonna pay whatever it is, $1.09, $11.16, whatever it is for the rental, and I'll end up watching it myself because the CGI, I have to admit, looks pretty darn good.
it was excellent. It was worth every penny. Yeah. I want to see it again. This time in IMAX. But hey, I want to get into the flat Earth stuff that's going around, and you said in your community. I did see a video that was posted. I didn't watch it, so I'm gonna admit that I didn't watch it. But it was saying that the flat Earth conspiracy is a hoax. Did you watch any of the videos?
Yeah, and again, I just me, I don't want to name names, but I'm seeing friction, yeah, going on in our community, and
Hmm.
it's again, it's like, what? I don't know. My opinion, hey, to each his own. If
Hmm.
if you want to do research into it, you want to make videos on it, that's fine.
Hmm.
because I'm seeing both sides of the fence on it.
Hmm.
There's people that are saying, "No, what are you guys doing? You're wasting your time. It's a psyop. It's completely bumpkus. It's a hoax. Whatever." Like they're just double doing it to you just to again distract you to get you off what the real truth is, right?
Right. And my
And
point being on that was, unless you have a rocket, your video doesn't mean crap to me. So, whatever. We were talking about earlier, before we went on live, is that we don't know. It can be a hexagon, it could be a pyramid, it could be a circle, it could be a square, it could be a cube, it could be a rectangle. You don't know. You don't know.
it exactly, and I got to throw that out there too as well. When Casey from Men of the Stars came on last weekend, and he voiced his opinion on it, and he said it's kind of more like a lens for your eye, and it's flat on one side and it's kind of rounded at the top. But you know what? To each his own. You know what? Because we don't. I mean, do we? I don't know. Maybe we. Some people do fully know. I'm sure, and most of us, the ones that are curious are going to look into it. So again,
Right.
yeah, we don't totally know. I mean, again, is it convex, concave? Is it semi? Who knows?
Right. And this one guy, like, he worked for NASA and he did he does 4D art. So, you ever seen those drawings on the sidewalk or on a wall, but it looks like it's like real life, like, dimensional.
Yeah, I've seen yes, I've seen some posts and videos on YouTube in New York City, and
Yeah.
those people are amazing. It looks like you're gonna literally fall right into the cracks of the sidewalk, right?
Yeah, it's sick. So that's what he does. Okay, and he was hired by NASA, and they asked him to doctor up the pictures to make it look real. So, and he's saying it's not a spear. He worked for NASA, so I mean, I would have to take that in a little bit of consideration. He doesn't have a rocket, but he was working for them, and they were telling him to do these pictures, these fake art pictures, not doctor up the pictures, but actually create pictures of the world that they would show on their website as real pictures. He admits
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. And the thing with that, I mean, I don't claim to know it all by any means. I'm an average Joe intelligence guy. Yeah, pretty much. But a part of me, analyzing that, a part of me is like, well, wait a minute. Usually people on their deathbed will come out and say that kind of stuff, or he either must be really protected, or, it's kind of, is he just being a gatekeeper? It makes, I mean, in my opinion, it makes me wonder that, like, is he
Right.
being genuine, or is he really ballsy and he doesn't care if he gets taken out as long as he's trying to tell people the truth?
I think the latter of that, because I've watched about 12 of his personal interviews. He doesn't contradict himself, and that doesn't mean he's not telling the truth, or telling the truth because he doesn't contradict himself. But usually I'll find some kind of form of contradiction in somebody's interview. But nevertheless, um, he he doesn't have family. He doesn't have kids. He's not married. It's just him. I don't think he has anything to lose. And he said he went to a party, and at the party, he's hanging out with all the guys from NASA and stuff like that, and some of the big honchos were there, and the electricity went out, and they all started lighting up lamps and candles and da 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 da. And then they asked him a question. They go, "Do you think that the Earth is round?" And he's all, "Well, yeah, of course." And they all started laughing at him. And he's all, "What's so funny?" I don't, he didn't get it. And they were like, "Well, it our Earth goes by temperature, meaning like you can't go to the North Pole, you'll die." And they were saying that somebody went to the North Pole, but he won't be coming back. And they started laughing, and he's all, "What do you mean?" And they were like, "The Earth is flat." So they're like drawing these diagrams on the floor in chalk, and showing him it. And he was like, "Okay, why are you guys telling me this?" Like he was, and I think it was to see whether or not he would be like one of them and just accept it, or would he say something. And so he ended up being let go of NSA. He has his card and everything. Simon Matisse. He has his card to.
Hold on, Rose. Hold on.
Yeah.
I think we're about to be sucked into press restart.
Sorry, Matisse. I'm gonna have to mute you. Um, but yeah, so he has his identification card that he worked for the NSA. I don't know.
But you said that they relieved him of his duties. They let him go.
Yeah,
Okay.
because he didn't want to accept that he was living a lie for them. Hey, Jebs. So yeah, so that's what that's about. And not just that, but I've read articles besides this guy, and I've read books and stuff like that. And like I said, I don't have my mind made up, but because I don't know, I don't have a rocket, so I don't know. But I definitely don't believe what I'm being told, because why would I?
Yeah, I'm kind of.
Hey, Chubbs.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm okay.
We're talking about the flat Earth, because a lot of like videos are going out saying that that's a hoax. So.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that stuff comes up on the internet. Yeah. Uh, I'm not down with the flat Earth theory myself. However, I do question. Uh, are we on? If we are on a spherical, quote unquote, Earth, um, the question is, as far as it, okay, let's say we are on a round Earth. Okay, I'm not going to say that's not possible, obviously. However, the things that are being described, that the Earth is spinning at a certain rate, plus we're going supposedly around the sun at a certain speed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do have a problem with that. It doesn't explain certain things to me. Like I've actually done the calculations myself. I
Nice.
a little bit of physics knowledge. I mean, it doesn't take a lot, but compared to what they're telling you, see, the thing is, if you're rotating around another, like we're apparently going, the Earth is going in a circle, plus the Earth is spinning on its axis at about 1,000+ miles per hour. So what would happen? What would happen? Imagine it like look at it like a car tire, right? The car is going forward, the tire is spinning around, right? Like it's rotating, right, to giving it kind of forward momentum. Now, uh, this is the simplest way I can put it. Now, if you think of a car tire, the top of the car tire is going forward, but the bottom of the car tire has to be going backwards to give you forward, acceleration or momentum or whatever. So um, when like using the car tire as an example, when at the top of the tire you're accelerating forward, but at the bottom you have to be decelerating. Okay, right? Because there's also forward momentum, just like the Earth would be like that, because we're as we go around the sun at, I don't remember what the speed of that is off the top of my head, but you can look
Right.
it up. But so then, therefore, we on planet Earth, and I did the calculations, at the apex of the acceleration and deceleration, at one point, there would be, I think I calculated it to about 1 meter per second, which is not really, like, maybe it'd be hard to feel it, physically, because it would be kind of gradual, right? As the Earth comes around,
Mm-hmm.
there would be an apex of that, and same thing the other way around. However, experimentally, you could do a simple experiment, taking a perfectly level table, for example, like, I mean, you level it, it's perfect, it's very flat, very smooth, and you put a ball in the center of that. Okay, even if you as a human being couldn't feel because now you have acceleration and deceleration. Okay, so maybe biologically we adapted to that situation or whatnot. So okay, so maybe we couldn't feel that because we're just kind of used to it. However, in a scientific experiment, you should be able to actually, you know, be able to do that the very simplest way. I could, for example, just in my layman terms, like I said, taking like a very flat surface, table, what have you, and
Mhm.
perfectly leveling it out, and then putting a sphere in the middle of it. So at certain points, as the Earth is spinning, and you have acceleration and deceleration, that even if it was a very slight movement, that's ball or sphere and it's on a perfectly flat level should be affected, and it should, when the Earth is accelerating on the kind of on the outside, like I said, using the tire analogy of a car, is going forward. So therefore, the ball should even very slightly roll backwards, and when you get into the on the other side, it should roll forwards, right? And I don't know if
Right.
anybody has. I've not. I don't know if anybody has done this experiment. I have not seen it, and I've not done it myself. But theoretically, if we're on a ball and we're going, whirling around the sun, and the Earth is also turning, uh, that if you did that in an experiment like that, you should see the ball moving back and moving forward, right? Even if it's a very very slightly, right?
Mhm.
And so that's my thing. I've not seen anything online about it. Somebody having done an experiment like that. And then what about this? What about this? Also consider that if, let's say, for example, um, let's say it's fall or whatever, where the Earth is not tilted either way, for example, um, and you're at the north or south pole, then so you're at the center of the rotation, right? You see what I mean? As the Earth is
Yeah.
rotating. But however, if you're on the equator, for example, there's centrifugal force, right? So now, if you weighed something at the equator, because there's centrifugal force, and you're kind of counteracting the force of gravity because of that, to whatever extent. So if you weighed a certain thing at the equator and you weighed something at the north or south pole, there should be a difference in weight, not mass, right? Like if you guys understand the difference between mass and weight, right? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So you have mass, you have
Yeah.
weight. So the mass doesn't change, obviously, right? Even if you have that situation, right? The mass is the same, but however, weight, because weight is, it has to do with gravity and your mass, et cetera, et cetera. But if you're spinning around at 1,000 miles an hour at the equator, and at the North Pole, you're just basically turning in a circle, right? I mean, you're not actually spinning. So therefore, whatever mass you have, now if you weigh yourself at the North Pole and you weigh yourself at the equator, with two equal masses, then at the equator you should weigh less than you would weigh at the North Pole with an equal mass.
Right.
If anybody's following me,
I am. I'm
right?
following you. It makes
So
sense.
I've never seen anybody do this experiment, right? Like I've never found evidence of it. I'm not saying nobody has done it, but I have not seen this, because if that's true, it might be a very slight difference in weight, but it should be measurable, obviously, right?
Right.
So, anyways, that's my thing. So I don't know, but I'm kind of, I don't know what to make of it. I'm not a flat earther, but the idea of the Earth going around the sun and we're spinning and all this stuff, I just have questions about it. Basically, it's because anyways. So that's just my point. I don't whatever.
Well, you make an excellent point with that. So you would admit that
we're not being told something, possibly. Or something
Well,
maybe a little out of loop a little bit, or there's something that isn't being explained enough to make it 100% in your head that we're on a sphere.
yeah, or this. Okay, and this this is gonna sound a little bit biblical, I guess. If the Earth is a sphere, um, my thing is that the Earth isn't spinning. That, and maybe this sounds maybe more crazy than the flat Earth theory. Then I would be more partial to saying that, like in the Bible, it's kind of like the Earth is the center of the universe, and everything else is going around the Earth, and where the Earth is actually stationary. The sun's revolving around that, the stars are revolving, etc., etc. You know what I mean? Like that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call that? Shit, it's not coming on
Concave.
my tongue. No, geocentric. If
Okay.
I'm phrasing this right, like that the Earth is at the center of the universe, basically, right?
Right.
So
Right.
everything else, the Earth isn't turning, the Earth isn't spinning, nothing is happening. It's just everything else is spinning around the Earth, right? If so it seems like it's one of the others. So I don't know. I'm kind of, and there's some experiments, some evidence, that again it just brings into question of what we're being told. There's question marks. That's all I'm saying. I'm like I'm not here to
Yeah.
tell anybody, oh, I think the Earth is flat or some shit. I don't know. I've looked at some videos. I've read some things and some experiments that people apparently have done with
Mm-hmm.
for example, there's an experiment that potentially might point to the fact that the Earth actually is not even flat or round, but is actually concave, right? That in the late 1800s, I forget the guy's name. What he did, there was two mine shafts where they were about.
Are you talking
I,
about
I don't.
Admiral Byrd?
No.
Okay.
This guy is supposedly some kind of scientist, and what they did is they had. I cannot, off the top of my head, again, I can't remember how deep these mine shafts were. Like well over at least 1,000 or 2,000 feet deep. So what they did is there was in this mine there was two like shafts to this mine, and so what they did is they took a weight uh, and they like dangled them down this mine shaft, right? And so what they did is they took a measurement at the top and they took a measurement at the bottom, right? Now imagine like uh, if you're aware with the like something being using a plumb, right? Like okay, again, I don't know if people understand. Um, a
Yeah,
plumb
like
is
a plumb bob. Yeah, a
yeah,
plumb.
a plumb
Yeah.
bob. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so okay, you get my drift. So apparently in this experiment, um, what they did is at first they used metal weights, right? Um, and they dropped this down in my shaft and they took a measurement, and I don't remember again the specifics of the differential of the measurements were that the measurement at the bottom was actually greater than at the top, right? Like they weren't converging like you would think if you have a round earth.
Mm-hmm.
um, Gravity, everything goes to the center. So theoretically, again, what we're
Mm-hmm.
told, right,
Right.
as a sphere, which it would have to do. So,
Right.
but in this experiment, actually, the weight at the bottom, they were diverging, which means there was a greater distance when they measured it. Again, not all big difference, but there was a slight difference that basically suggested that the weights were diverging, which actually in theory would suggest a concave Earth, right, instead of a convex one, right?
Right.
So, but then they go, okay, well they were using steel weights, right? So which then they thought, okay, well no, now there could be potentially a problem with the experiment because of course you don't know the geological formations of everything. So magnetism could be involved, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
that there's some kind of magnetism with with the plumbs, right? Because they're made out of metal. So then they redid the experiment with something non-magnetic, like I think brass or something. I don't, again, I don't, at the top of my head, I don't remember the details of this experiment, but something non-magnetic, right? Like as far as I know, brass isn't magnetic, right? So
Mm.
um, so they did it with, as an example, I'll use brass, and they actually got the same results. So again, this is, I don't know, I mean, I don't trust anything, but it just it just kind of makes me think, like, I don't know, we sit here in our world, we don't have the opportunity, we don't have the money, um, to check any of the validity of anything that so-called mainstream science or the government tells us.
Right.
I mean, as far as even the Earth itself, the closest thing that quote unquote the regular Joe can do it right now is that people have done, and you can see videos on YouTube about this. Is they take because we have the technology now, like GoPro cameras and whatnot, and they're very small, et cetera, et cetera. So, and GPS stuff or whatever, and that people have obviously sent up helium balloons, and they go up to apparently up to around 100,000 feet, and that's the closest thing as to a layperson can get to space, for example. And then the funny thing is that 100,000 feet. This is another thing, and you can look up. There's tons of, well, I'm not gonna say tons of, but there's quite a few videos about people doing this on YouTube, and you can
I've seen
watch the
I've seen a few.
yeah, and you
Yeah.
can watch the balloon ascend, and then it pops, and then it's falling down, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
And really, I mean, at 100,000 feet or so, I mean, you would think that you should be able to see a curvature of the Earth, and you really don't. And
Nope.
and so that's another. Again, that I'm not saying that because you don't see that. I'm not saying that the Earth is flat. Again, I'm just saying it's just a funny thing. Um, and then if you guys remember, what was his name? Felix, the guy that did the highest. He went up in like in a helium balloon, and Red Bull sponsored it. Felix Gardner, or fucking what was his name? If anybody knows. He does this really high skydive. I think 100,000 plus feet or whatever, which was supposed to be a world record. And
Mhm.
then you look at the footage of that too, and they use a fucking fisheye lens. Like,
Right.
again, this is
That creates the curvature. That creates the curvature.
well,
Same
well,
with
yeah,
an
obviously,
airplane.
yeah, yeah. So
Airplanes,
then,
their windows have curvature. Yeah.
yeah, so that's even kind of fishy. So I don't know what we're. I just question, I don't think we're being told the truth. I don't know what the truth is. I don't go to the point to say, oh, I'm a flat earther. The earth is flat, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't say that. But then at the
No.
same time, I'm not sure that the earth is a sphere, so it's kind of it's a hard thing. It's hard because we get lied to about so many things, and that's the
Right.
challenge, right?
Right. And if you're
So,
being lied to about so many things, why would you believe everything you're being told? So you do
yeah,
have to take that into question. So you did a good analogy on that. I appreciate that.
sure, no
Ed,
problem.
do you have to get ready for work, or can you hang on for a little bit more?
You know what? Maybe about maybe 5 more minutes, and then yeah, I gotta get booking.
Okay. Sky has something to say about Jade Helm in Las Vegas. Go ahead, Sky, because Neo Cloud was asking that, I believe.
Yeah, it's just I'm looking up a lot of stuff about it, and Alex Jones, well, the guy that we all don't care for.
Let's not get into
Um,
that. Go
well,
ahead.
it's even bigger than you expect. It's way bigger. They're using all the Walmart's casinos, everything,
Oh.
and found out that Hillary Clinton is all behind it, I think.
Ooh. Well, I'm not surprised about
That's what I'm
that.
guessing.
Okay. What about the casinos? What are they doing? Oh, go
Well,
ahead,
they're
Ed.
filling them up. They're filling up with a lot of weapons and
Oh.
a lot of stuff.
Do you know about any casino names?
No, I don't think. I just saw casino. That's all I saw.
Okay. Go ahead, Ed. I know
Like,
you don't have that much. I'll
Oh
get back
no,
to you, Sky. I know Ed has to go.
yeah, no, that's all news to me. And now I heard about all the WalMarts and everything, and then you were telling me on last podcast that you were saying they actually had underground tunnels on those WalMarts, right?
Right.
Yes.
So yeah, that's new to me now with the casinos being jam packed full of what have you, what do you want to call
I'm
them?
about to share this so that y'all can see this.
Okay.
Come on, share it. There we go.
Okay, let me click on you.
This is what I found right here.
Fears of
Oh,
martial
it's
law
it's
raised over Jade Helm 15 military operation. Okay. Okay. This summer, a military operation known as Jade Helm 15 is set to kick off in the southwestern quarter of the United States. The drill will see special operations forces from all four main branches of the military conduct hostile takeover training on civilian soil. But WND reported Monday, sorry, moving it, the operation was,
Oh crap, sorry.
it's okay. The operation has many concerned. The operation is the prelude to martial law. That's right.
Hmm.
There you go. So there is something happening in Vegas. And now you got to assume that if something's happening, if they have tunnels under Walmart, why wouldn't they have lower level under casinos? I mean, makes
Well,
sense
okay, I
to
just want to
hold
enter. I just want
to
to
hold
interject.
to hold beverages and clothing and furniture and stuff like that. So you would think they would have bottom levels. Go ahead.
Okay, just be careful with this kind of well, in some cases, yeah, I obviously I know they're actually doing this stuff, but now there. See, the thing is, I occasionally listen to the disinfo agent that is Alex Jones, and he is really pushing this Jade Helm thing very, very, very much. And the guy does nothing but fearmonger.
Mm-hmm.
So then I just question, and then then there's people get into conspiracy stuff. Oh, there's a few WalMarts closed down, so this means something. I don't know. I just want to. I'm not saying it's not true or anything. I'm just saying, but be careful, like because there's a lot of fear mongering and a lot of disinformation on the internet, and well, of course mainstream media as well. Never mind, and the alternative media, so-called the alternative media, you can't trust that either.
Right.
So, again, unless you have personal experience with. I hate to say it, to come down to that point, but if when you see, let's say, the military conducting exercises in your own kind of backyard, um, unless you know that's something for a fact, and you can come back here and say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I saw the troops. They were fucking doing this. They were doing that, and blah blah blah. Then yeah, okay, yeah, that I can go with that. But when you just, I've learned to. I just want to say to you guys. I mean, I've really, as much as I'm kind of a probably a more far out conspiracy theorist than probably anybody that's hung out here. But at the same time, I I've learned to distrust the internet, and there is there's a fucking so much disinformation on the internet. It's just saying it's head spinning. I mean, I just want to say to you guys, just take everything with a grain of salt, right?
Well, I'm not saying what everything is a fact, but there is people that do have cameras on their phones and that do videotape stuff and that are um, showing footage of stuff. Like the thing that happened in Fort Lauderdale, somebody filmed it. So you have to take that
Well,
into consideration. I
well,
mean,
no,
just
I
because,
do,
yeah,
I do.
this is
No,
real. This is real. It's just happening now, so it hasn't even really kicked off yet, and hopefully it doesn't. I mean, but it is real. It
mm.
is real. Yeah. I mean,
Oh no, I'm not. Oh no, wait, Rose, I'm not telling you that the whole I live in Canada, obviously, so I mean, I'm not living in the U.S., obviously, but as far as saying, I'm not saying to you that the Operation Jade Helm is not actually real, and there's no troops conducting exercises or anything like this. I'm not saying that that isn't true. Don't get me wrong, but then what I'm saying is, when you get into the other parts of it about, empty Walmarts with tunnels and,
Well, there's camera
certain
footage of it. There's camera footage of it.
of tunnels under like
Yeah.
casinos and this kind
No,
of stuff.
not casinos, Walmarts.
Okay, I've not seen it, so maybe I'm
Yeah, it's on the
speaking a
internet.
little out of ignorance, but.
No, it's okay.
But
Well, you
again,
can talk.
well, okay, well, it goes back again to this thing. It's on the internet, and
But it's photos, it's pictures. I'm not. It's footage. It's live video footage. Of the tunnels that are under 5 Walmarts that closed down because of plumbing. Ed brought that up a couple of days ago. So yeah.
okay, fair enough. I'm ignorant of that. I haven't seen it, so I can't really comment.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, I got to bounce later on at work. If I can pick it up, if I don't know if you're gonna be on that long or not, but I'll try to come back and check you guys out later if you're still broadcasting.
All right, cool, Ed. You have a good night at work.
Okay, well, like you know me, I got a lot of free time on my hands, so like I said, I'll check you out if you're still on.
Okay.
Well,
all
fuck
right.
Ed. I thought I worked late, but I guess you got the really night shift.
Oh yeah, no, I work midnight till 8 in the morning. So like I said,
Oh.
and once I do my run through with the patrol truck and the post, and if I see on the first patrol or two, there's nothing going on, I can pretty much assume the rest of the night's gonna be easy money. And like I said, I have a lot of free time, so I'll try to join you guys later.
Do you get to carry a gun?
That post is unarmed. I've done armed guard work before, but you know what? For what they were paying per hour, and I don't have limited liability insurance like PD officers do, and the backup from
Right.
Motorola, it's not
Yeah.
worth it. I got
Yeah.
out of that armed work stuff, so yeah, I'm taking the easy money now doing unarmed. But I still have a duty belt. I got a mace gun. I got pepper spray. I've got other little tricks in the bag. But I've been at the same site for over 3 years, and I've never once had to mace or pepper spray anybody. It's pretty easy going out there.
Cool.
All right. Cool enough. All right.
So
Well, have a good good night at work, I guess,
yeah, good morning.
or good morning, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for having me on, Rose. It was good
Yeah.
talking with you again, R1 Philosophy, and I'll try to catch you guys on the flip side if you're still up.
All right.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, peace out.
All right. Bye. Yeah.
Hey, on an off-topic, Rose.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I just want to say something because this is kind of like a little bit weirded me out last night. I was I did I was kind of bored, got a little bit late at night. I'm like, I'm a little bored, so I went through the Google, where you can look at uh, who's having a Google Hangout, like whatever. So I was just seeing if I could find, maybe an interesting, conversation to join and see what was being posted or whatever, And so you get a list, and some of them don't even have a title, whatever. You just click on and see whatever. You know what I mean? Like a
Yeah.
kind of a random thing. So I was doing that last night. I clicked onto some random shit, and some of them were like, "There's this Chinese guy. He's all fucking talking in Chinese or whatever." So I left. I found one where it was Alaska. They were doing like a kind of like a broadcast of their baseball game. I clicked on that. Whatever. Obviously, it didn't interest me, but whatever. It was fine. And then I'm scrolling through, and I click on this one thing, and and I wasn't sure, like, I couldn't really make out the picture, whatever, what it was. And so I fucking click on this, and then what it was this girl, and she's probably, I my guess would be she's like maybe around 11 or 12 years old.
Oh wow. Okay.
And okay, wait, whatever. Okay, but and so I looked at, because most of those hangouts have like one or two or three people kind of watch this hangout or whatever, you know what I mean, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
And so this one had 43 people, or watching or watched this hangout, whatever. So I thought, well, maybe this is like there was a people on there, like, me, I like to yap, right? So I thought, okay, well, 43 people, so okay, well, whatever, I click on this thing, like thinking I'm gonna, maybe join a conversation about, anything, whatever, because I'm kind of fucking bored. And here I see it, and this kind of creeped me out. I left, but especially after what I saw, and I don't know if there's anything behind it, or this young girl is just, I don't know if she's just doing this on her own or not. I fucking click on this, and it's basically she's in her bed.
Hmm.
Nothing provocative. She's not naked or anything, but
Mhm.
what it looks like is she's laying on her bed watching her laptop, and obviously it has a webcam in it. So, and then she's sitting there and she's doing kind of like what I would say kind of a pedo provocative thing. She's like chewing gum, and then she takes the gum, right? She wraps it around her finger, right?
Hmm.
And then she's sucking on it on her finger. Like, I don't want to be kind of graphic
Oh.
about this.
Yeah.
And then she's like doing that, and then on top of that, whatever she's watching, I don't know what the fuck she was watching, but there's like kind of swearing and gay things in it and everything else, like, and then she's doing this thing with her mouth and her finger, and like kind of sucking on it. I was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I got kind of creeped out. I'm like, I'm gonna leave because like if somebody gets my IP address and I'm looking at this, maybe they're gonna think I'm a fucking pedophile or something. And I just I just randomly came across the fucking hangout. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It was
There's
it was pretty
43
fucking
people.
creepy.
43 people are watching that.
Yeah, 43 people. And she
Wow.
wasn't talking to anybody. There was nobody on her hangout. It was just her sitting there, doing the thing with her finger and the gum and sucking on her finger. And like I said, she was maybe 11 or 12 years old,
Wow.
lying in her bed and watching her laptop and whatever. I don't know what she was watching, but it was kind of vulgar. They were saying, swears and talking about gay shit. And, I'm just saying, it was just, yeah, it really fucking kind of weirded me out. And I was like, I watched this. I
So
probably watched it
so
for a
what
few minutes.
what do you think? Do you think somebody should have reported that as being inappropriate or no?
Um, well, I, I kind of think so. I mean,
Hmm.
again, I'm not, I don't know where, if she's just, that young and she just kind of doesn't know, she's just trying to make friends or something, and of course, the being that young or whatever. But I mean, but just the way she was kind of like, I would say, like, if you were a fucking pedophile and you're looking at this young girl, and the things
Yeah.
that she was doing with her mouth and her finger was kind of
Okay. Shit's creeping me
disturbing.
out. I didn't
Yeah, it
see
was
it.
disturbing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
if
I
it was
think
a
that.
woman, whatever.
Who
I wouldn't,
cares? Yeah.
whatever. But
But
being that
she's
she's that
underage.
young,
Yeah, and then you have 43 people watching this. I mean, that's I personally I think that's inappropriate. But
yeah, it is inappropriate. And then I
where's her
looked
parents
at
at? Where's her parents?
well,
Why is she allowed to do this? I mean,
well, yeah, especially that late at night. I mean, it was I'm talking about, well, again, I didn't check, where she lived, but I mean, I'm gonna guess maybe in the
no.
U.S. or Canada. But it was like
Mm.
it was Sunday night because it was last night. So it was Sunday night. It was 2:30 in the morning. So you got like a 11, 12 year old up at 2:30 watching fucking kind of like, it seemed like a cartoon, but a dirty cartoon. With like
Yeah.
swears and using the word,
Yeah, Lord.
homosexuals and this and that and the other thing. And she's watching this, laying in her bed on her laptop, which I'm just guessing it was her laptop.
Yeah.
And and then the other thing, and the other weird thing too is that as at first I when I first clicked on it, it's like I thought it might be like a boy or young guy or whatever because she has like short hair, whatever. That it was almost kind of like an androgynous thing. Like I
Uh-huh.
couldn't tell whether I was looking at a girl or whether I was looking at a guy. So then
Either
after
way, it's still a child. Either way, it's a
well, yeah,
child. Right.
either way, yeah, of
Right.
course, either way.
Right.
So then I went and uh, I clicked on her whatever her profile because the only reason I did it is like, am I looking at a young girl or a young guy? Like I was even kind of confused, like I was like, I don't know what I'm looking at. But either way, the thing he or she was doing was like kind of, again, I'm not saying even on purpose. I don't know. It's just like, so I clicked on it and yeah, she's a young girl, right? Like um, yeah, I don't know. It just weirded me out, man. There's just some weird shit going on. And
That is weird.
even when I left, I also after that I was like, okay, I like as soon as I realized it was a young girl, whatever, I'm like, okay, well now I'm watching this too, right? Like not because I
Right.
wanted to, you know what I mean? It's like,
Well, you
okay, I
didn't
saw,
know. You're just
yeah, I
traveling
didn't know,
around.
I
So
didn't
what?
know, I didn't
Yeah.
know.
Right.
I find it really weird. So I'm like, okay, I'm fucking getting the fuck out of here, like because
Yeah.
I don't even want my IP address to be associated with this fucking hangout, like
Right.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so I left, right? And
Wow.
then even after that, I did again, I'm not good with this fucking Google Hangout shit yet. I don't know quite how to do it very well. But anyways, so I just did the standard thing, start a hangout, and I made it public, right? Because I was, like I said, I was bored. Like I thought, oh, maybe someone would join. Fuck whatever. Anyways, so I do that, and then nobody really joined. It was late Sunday night, so I figured, well, most people are probably fucking sleeping, whatever. It's fine. So then
Yeah.
I was watching. I don't know. I was watching a video, or I think I actually watched a fucking movie or something, and
Mhm.
I got I got two people join my fucking hangout. One of them was I think Sony D. Um, and just saying weird shit in my hangout. They not through voice, through the side chat, right? I'm like, I they click on. I'm like, oh hey, hello, how's it going? Whatever. Like, obviously you don't know who you're talking to, right? Whatever. And so of course
Right.
they wouldn't reply to me in voice. It was all just text on the side, and
Well,
it was
right there is shady. If somebody can't talk and they say, "Well, I don't have voice. I can't," except for Benny the gangster, he's the only one that gets a pass in my book.
mhm.
If you can't talk, don't come in. I mean,
Yeah,
why?
but yeah, but it just the person or whatever was just, I don't even remember exactly. I'm just gonna tell you they're just saying weird things. First of all, they were started out with sex, right? Like, do I want to have sex? And I'm like, no, I don't fucking go on Google Plus to try to, you know what I mean? Like for sex. There's other
You want to
places
be on
if I
here?
wanted to do that.
What
You know
did
what
I
I mean?
come back to?
Hey, Scott. Chubbs was filling me in on his night on the Hangouts. He fell into some crazy rooms, and I don't want to get into it because it made me want to vomit in my mouth. I mean, it was pretty gross. But and then he started his own Hangout, and then they started harassing
Yeah,
him on a different level. He's gonna finish it up because there's some weirdos out there, Chubbs. There's some
but
freaking
but,
weirdos.
but I'm not
You
even
know
sure
what's
that.
weird? You know what's weird? If you put this on public, a lot of people from Osama bin Laden's family would come on here.
Oh.
He has
Mine's not
some
public. Mine,
terms.
mine won't allow. This one won't allow me to have the public come in for some reason. It says you can't do that. So I'm like, all right, cool. I don't want
I'll
any
have to
weirdos
show
coming
you
in
how
here
to do
anyways.
that.
No, I don't want to. No, no, no. I'm
No,
cool
no, no,
because
I mean, I won't
I don't
do it.
want.
I mean, I'll show you in the future, like if you wanted to do it.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
The way you do it is, you just go on that little circle thing and say add people and make it public. There you go.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
it's yeah. I've seen that option, but But yeah, anyways, to finish off, Rose, sorry to interrupt you, Sky, but
It's all right, man.
I just want to say, like, with the person or it or I don't know, maybe it was even a fucking bot. I don't know, like, because it was kind of cryptic, because the even the thing that I was getting in the side chat was like uh kind of, I would say, kind of, I don't know if I want to say broken English, but they were like abbreviating things that sounded like, almost made it seem like they kind of spoke English, but they really didn't in the typing. You know what I mean? And then it started out with
Yeah.
the sexual thing and all this stuff, like, oh, are you into sex or whatever? Do you like sex? I think it was soon as a person came onto my Hangout, uh, and like I said, the username they had was Sony D, and so, anyways, it comes out, and it just starts out on the side chat. Do you like sex? And I'm like, well, yeah, I do like sex, obviously. Whatever. I mean, that's kind of a stupid question, unless you're a impotent old man. Of course, as a guy, you like sex, whatever. So, anyways, so I'm like, yeah, and then it gets into more weird questions that it was asking me and whatever, and then I go into, because they could hear me apparently, because I made the comment of something like that. Well, I said, I'm not on Google Plus to look for a date, or to look for sex or anything. I'm on here to just have a conversation with people, because whatever, if I'm looking for sex, there's other places I can go, not fucking Google Plus, right? And so I said, no, I'm not here for that. And then so that person or thing left, right? Again, whatever. So okay, fine, whatever. And then so I was like, okay, whatever, fine, that was weird. So no problem. I go back to fucking watching my movie, and then I don't know, about half an hour, 45 minutes later, the same quote unquote person comes back on my fucking Hangout, because I didn't close it, and then with the same fucking kind of questions, about sex and this and that and the other thing. And I said, look, I'm not fucking interested, whatever, blah blah blah, just. And so they take off. So I went to look at their account, right? And when you check somebody's profile, you can see, do they have acquaintances, and da 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 da. And I went there, and they got like nothing, nothing, nothing. Like everything is zero. They don't. That account was like, they had zero posts, zero acquaintances, zero views, zero everything. Everything was zero, 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 zero. You know what I mean? So it's kind of fucking weird. And then I had another one too. Comes on my channel, sticks around for a while, doesn't actually say anything to me. I forget the name. It started with Y something. And I do the same thing. I went back and I'm like, okay, fuck, I'll check you out. Are you like a real person? Do you have an account? Do you have, maybe acquaintances, followers, etc.? Go there, nothing. Again, same thing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Like it was like what you'd say a dummy account, right? Like if I went to yours, you go to mine, I got, let's say, whatever, 60, 70 followers. I got 70, 80,000 views on my posts, etc., etc., which you can see. And these people had 0, 0, 0, 0. So I don't know. It was just kind of a weird night.
It's
I
fake
don't know what to make
accounts.
of it. Sorry, what?
I'm saying it's a fake accounts. They always make fake accounts for different people.
Yeah, I just wonder, why the fuck would they be hassling me? Like, what's the deal?
Always
Like,
want to troll.
yeah, yes. But usually they want to troll for a reason. I don't know. Maybe because I I come across a lot of times as especially anti-Semitic, right? If you
Hmm.
not a fan of the Jewish people, that usually will get you into trouble. So maybe that's why. That's probably about the only way I'm possibly politically incorrect, I guess you could say, is that I'm not a fan of the people that want to exterminate my race. So who knows? Maybe that's the reason. Otherwise, I can't think of any other reason. I'm not. I don't hate nobody. I don't. Whatever. I'm not. I don't know. I mean, I am. I'm kind of into media fakery as well. Like, as far as the media lies to you and deceives you and whatever. So I mean, that could be another reason, I suppose. But yeah, it was just a weird night. But yeah, I didn't. I was explaining to Rose the one thing on Google Hangouts which had nothing to do with me posting anything, which I found a little bit creepy. Because you can through Google Plus, you can go through check out live Hangouts, right? Who's doing a live Hangout, and so I was kind of a little bit bored on last night, and so I was like, I'll click on this, see if I can maybe find an interesting Hangout. You know what I mean? To check out or something. And fucking one of them, I was like, there was like, I found one. This is there's 43 people watching or whatever.
No. Let's not talk about that again.
Okay. All right. Well, I was just trying to tell that to Sky because she don't
You can
quite
go back
know
and listen to the Hangout and hear about it because it's bad.
Yeah.
It's
So
pretty
yeah, but
disgusting.
yeah, it's pretty
I'm sorry you had
creepy.
to deal with that, Chubbs. Good lord, you have to be careful what you
Wow.
click.
Well, you don't know. Like like I said, I didn't know, and it's like I'm watching. It's like I said, is like even me from my jaw dropped. I'm like, this is on fucking like I mean, this is totally like if I was a fucking pedo, I was like watching something like that. It would be
That would
like
be bad.
a kind of like a wet dream. Fun.
Good lord. Okay, we're gonna change the subject.
Anyways, yeah, no, I won't keep bringing that up. But
Please
I'm just
don't.
saying it was a weird night. It was a fucking weird night last night, even though I really didn't talk to anybody on fucking on the
Well,
internet. But yeah.
next time, just hit me up or something. I don't know, but
Anyways, yeah.
yeah. Oh, right on for sharing that, Sky, earlier. I'm gonna have to look into the casinos in Las Vegas now because it makes sense. They have a lot of video games where they use like I think it was Left 4 Dead in Vegas, right? Right, Left 4 Dead. No, Fallout 2. Fallout 2 was in Las Vegas. And they like to use a lot of Vegas and video games and stuff like that. So that's pre-programming. So it's interesting. And it makes sense that they would, casinos are huge. So, well, anyways, anything you want to talk about, Sky?
Oh, not really, but there's a lot of drama going around about Jade Helm and all that stuff.
Yeah. It is drama. I mean, you just gotta carry on with your day, and don't let any of this like affect you. Like it's good to have knowledge and know what's going on, but at the same time, you don't let it affect you.
Yeah, every time when I go to Walmart, I'm always scared that it would happen in our Walmart.
Right?
I'm like, oh no, it's here.
You ain't leaving. ISIS is at the front door. Everyone go down to the next level.
Oh man.
That would be crazy. That's scary. I'd be like, there's windows.
Did you know that Texas passed a law on open carry here?
Open carry?
Yep, they passed it. Yep, here, yeah.
So mean you can't carry a gun now?
No, you can. You can carry it open to carry.
Oh, when did that pass?
I don't know, I heard it on the news somewhere, but I was like, what? Yeah, I can start open carrying now.
I already thought you could. I don't know.
No, it's depending on what area you're in.
Okay. Oh, there's certain areas. Okay, gotcha. All right.
Like, did you know in Pennsylvania you could actually open carry, but in the comments section, if I'm wrong, just comment down below.
Right.
Well, my thing with weapons. I mean, I live in here in Canada, and there's no place here in Canada. I mean, you can still buy guns and you can buy handguns, but you got to jump through the hoops and get permit and everything else. And yeah, you can buy weapons. We're
That's
not
what I'm trying to
disarmed here.
think. I mean, yeah, I understand that,
But
but I
but
mean,
as far as
it's
as far as
strict.
yeah, but as far as open carry, like you can own weapons, like you can own rifles, like you can own an SKS, whatever. I mean, a fully automatic AR-15 that would be considered illegal here. A semi-automatic one you would be okay with, and handguns too. Handguns are a little bit more. You got to jump through a little bit more hoops. I mean,
They're more
if you want
stricter.
to, yeah, if you want a permit for a handgun first to get your what they call FAC firearms acquisition certificate, especially for handguns, you basically, first of all, you have to be a member of a range. You have to know like a professional, like a doctor or a lawyer, and they have to actually sign basically to say that they think that you're, sane enough to own a fucking handgun. So I mean, there's hoops you got to jump through, but you can own handguns, you can own rifles, semi-automatic rifles, hunting, stuff like this. So we're not disarmed, but as far as uh, there's no such thing as getting a permit to open carry, or unless you're part of the government, carry concealed, anything like this. No, unless again you have to be somebody fucking really special to get something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Hmm.
I'm just saying, like it's not, Canadians aren't like disarmed, and but it's you got to jump. But the thing is, here what they do is the media. Like when I was together with my ex before, my stepdaughter, we went out to the firing range, and I was brought up with guns. Like my stepdaddy was really into guns. We used to go to the shooting range. I fired rifles, shotguns, handguns, whatever. So I mean, I'm very familiar with firearms, but so but I never bought any, once I, moved out. Yeah. And so when I got together with my old lady and, well, her daughter, right, we finally, with my brother, we went out to the shooting range, and he had rifles, and he had a 22 target rifle for as an example. So my stepdaughter, she was at the time she was about 14 years old, right? And she had never fired a gun before. And we went out to the range, and so give her a few pointers on how to shoot, aim. And this was with iron sight, not even a scope or anything. And she wasn't firing too far away. It was about 50 yards away with a 22 rifle, and she was getting like fucking awesome, like, I don't know how you guys are with firearms, but she was getting a really pretty tight group. Like, she was actually a really good shot. And actually, women can be as good or better shots than even guys, right? Like, so she, like, especially to me, it was like, wow, this is the first time she did this, and I was impressed with her grouping. Like how tight the, whatever, you know what I mean? And so I was asking her, I'm like, wow, I'm like, you're really a good shot. Would you be like, interested? So I wanted to buy her a gun, right? And so I was, of course, you clear it with, your spouse, like, because we came back from the range. I'm like, wow, my stepdaughter's name was Desiree. Like, I'm like, man, she's really a good shot. Like, I was thinking, get her a rifle, go to the range. She could be like Olympic fucking, if she practiced, she could be at that level, like that good of a shot, because I thought she had a really knack for it, and again, see, this is the thing. This is 22, and you know, I mean, you can kill somebody with a 22 rifle, but I mean, it's generally not that lethal of a weapon, really. And so I suggested, I wanted to buy, and my brother was going to sell me that Target 22 rifle that he had for a pretty decent price. And so I was saying to her, well, Desiree has a really knack for shooting, and she says she likes doing it. I was like, as a sport, and she just fucking flipped out. You can't bring a gun into this house. And it's like a gun was like the most evil thing. So that's the thing here in Canada. Even though you can buy rifles, most people are so fucking brainwashed that if you say, well, you're going to buy a gun and put it into the house, it's like you just brought Satan into the house. This is like it's just evil. And so that's the problem here in Canada, is that even though legally you can acquire firearms, but socially, people have been so fucking brainwashed against the idea of just even owning a firearm that it doesn't matter that you legally can have one. It's just, socially, people have just been so brain fucked about the whole issue. So, anyways, sorry, I just
Right.
rambled on there, but yeah, if that's making any sense,
No,
hopefully
it
it
makes
is.
sense. Yeah, it does. So, people sometimes that scares people.
Yeah, like, but not because it's actually scary. It's because they've been
Right.
conditioned through the media, right? You know what I mean? To
Hmm.
think of guns in a certain way, that, oh, well, if you have a gun in the house, that somebody's gonna get killed because you have a gun in your house. Not because the bad guy is gonna come and kill you, but you know what I mean. But
Right.
of course it's ridiculous. But anyways,
Right. Well, I mean, you do have the right to protect yourself, so you know.
that's right. And the thing is, that's the whole issue with a lot of times people will bring up, well, somebody had a gun in the house and the kids were playing with it and they shot some other kid or some shit like this. And I'm sure that does happen, unfortunately. But for me, for example, I was brought up in a gun culture. Like I said, my stepdad was really big into guns. And, having gone out to the shooting range, cleaning the gun, and shit, even loading, bullets and everything else like that. I was around that and shooting guns and shooting through a tree trunk, whatever, sometimes.
Right.
And I realized at a very young age, by the time I was 10 years old, I understood how lethal and deadly a firearm was. And
Right.
so by the time I was 10, there was no fucking way I would pick up a rifle, a handgun, or anything else and point it at anybody. I got taught how, to respect a firearm, that potentially how dangerous it was, and you never pointed at anybody. And even and I used to go, and that's the thing, I even went hunting, right? So when we went hunting, you understood how you carried your rifle, especially when you were with 3 4 other people, how you carried the gun, everything else, that you the gun was always pointed at the ground, like you never raised the gun until you were ready to shoot at something, right?
Right.
And,
Right.
just simple things like that.
You have to respect the device for if you're gonna pull out a gun on somebody, then be prepared to use it. Otherwise,
Well,
don't pull it
that's
out.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, something like that. Yeah, exactly, right.
Right.
So like I said, I learned this when I was 10 years old. Yeah, I you know I didn't have to be 20 or 30, to understand how dangerous a firearm was and how to be responsible with it. I was taught this when I was 10. I didn't even fucking hit puberty yet, you know what I mean? But I
Hmm.
understood what a firearm was, what it could do, and how to be responsible with it. So it's all about education, right? And the people think, oh, blah blah blah. And plus, all the time, the other thing too is with my stepdad. Well, the firearms were always under lock and key, right? So it was like, even if I was kind of stupid or whatever, I couldn't just go and grab it and load it up and do something stupid. It was locked away. It was put away. I didn't have readily access to it unless I had a fucking, a cut and torch or fucking, something else to, get through the lock or whatever.
Hmm.
So, it's responsibility, right? You know what I mean? So, yeah, with
Right.
firearms. But
Yeah, I think you have to be responsible with anything. Like if you carry around a knife, if you carry around a bat or whatever.
Yeah, or a penis for that matter.
Whatever. Be responsible. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Um. So yeah. I don't know who Brandon is. Brandon keeps. Uh. I don't know. Keeps texting me to come in, but.
Why you don't want to let him in?
I don't know how to let him in. Not that. No,
Oh,
anyone can come in here. I don't care. I could talk about anything, but I don't know who it is, or it's just not. I don't know. Um, I'm just texting him, letting him know. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. Well, it's Monday night, Rose. So who knows?
Yeah. Well,
Usually a
yeah,
quiet night.
yeah. I'll probably be ending this soon. You know.
Oh, yeah, it's all good. I'm trying to go to bed early because I stayed up too late on the weekend, especially Saturday night. I mean, I don't start work early, thank God, but
Uh,
still, I think on after I was on with you guys on Saturday night or Saturday morning or whatever, or was it Saturday night? I can't remember. But yeah, I woke up at my time. I woke up at fucking 3:30 in the afternoon. So I was like,
oh yeah, yeah,
yeah, and
yeah. Same here. Oh, okay. He's saying. Sorry, he's saying. Brandon Bellinger is saying, "I was really tired that night, Rose. Anyway, you're wrong. The Earth is round." I said, "Well,
okay,
come in and tell me that then." uh, you know, I guess he has a rocket, so I like to hear
uh,
what he has to say about that. You know,
well,
what kind
are
of proof do you have of that? I like to hear your proof, Brandon. But just by telling me I'm wrong doesn't make you right.
yeah, no, it doesn't.
You
Well,
know,
no, are you?
I'm not saying the Earth is flat though. That's not my point. I'm saying we don't know. I don't have a.
Oh, okay,
I'm pretty much the same as you, Chubbs. I don't know.
yeah,
I know I've been lied to all my life, so why would I take into consideration what the government has to tell me is true? I'm
well, yeah,
not, because it
well,
usually
yeah,
is the
that's,
opposite.
that's it.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. So
well, yeah,
you
that's
take
right.
that point. You take that point. Then you take Admiral Byrd. Right. He did 3 expeditions that the president at the time gave him the money to do. All right. So he was given the money he needed, the airplane, the people, everything. He even wrote a book about this. He did interviews. Um,
Yeah,
this was
I'm
back when TV
familiar.
was black and yeah, Admiral
I'm
Byrd. Okay.
I'm familiar
So
with
he
his stuff.
right. So on his expedition, he came to the realization that the North Pole is in the middle, that the South Pole is a ring around holding the oceans in. And he said that there's so much land down there. It's like a whole, like the size of the United States, and it has unlimited, practically unlimited resources. So coal, gold,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
whatever. And
Hmm.
and he said that this land hasn't even been touched,
Well,
and
here's the other funny thing.
can't get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, wait. I mean, going to modern times. Here's the other deal. I mean, and you can look this up. I mean, again, well, whatever. Again, I said, sometimes I'm skeptical of the internet too. I mean, there can be disinformation there too, but I don't. Obviously, not everything on it is. But when you look at uh, nobody has made a claim to the South Pole, right? Antarctica. Whereas, like,
Right.
so, but on the coast you have American South Antarctic station. You have the New Zealand. Even New Zealand has one, and I mean, look at it. How fucking small of a fucking country is New Zealand? It's a fucking island beside Australia, right? I mean, but they have one too. The Chinese have one, and everybody has like little fucking stations in Antarctica. On the coast. Not in central. I mean, there is. apparently they have gone to quote unquote the South Pole, and the Russians have, apparently, or they were the kind of like the first ones to really go there. But it's a funny thing that, when you look at air traffic, there is not a single fucking airline that actually flies across the South Pole. Like
Right.
from, let's say from the, like Chile, or something, on the tip of South America.
And
Some of the air,
it
some of
goes
the
off
well,
GPS too. There's the GPS goes off then too.
yeah, and some of the trips, if they just flew straight across, Antarctica, the trips would actually be shorter. I mean,
Right.
and but nobody does it. No single airline does that. But yet, a lot of them do, basically almost, in the north, quote unquote, the northern, hemisphere. There are airlines that go. I'm not going to say straight across the pole of Antarctica, but pretty close. Like, if you're, for example, flying to Russia, they'll get close to the poles, and, to Antarctica, but to, the, to in the Arctic, like, they'll go pretty close, right? However, Antarctica, nobody flies across there. Like, I mean, they
Okay.
just
You're right,
so
and I've seen somebody actually go on the airlines and type in different ways to fly through the south equator, and there's always a layover. Even if it says it's a straight trip, you still land on an island or something. Okay, I got Brandon, whoever he is, who doesn't have the guts to come on here and talk, but will say stuff in text, which is fine, I guess. So um, so he said, okay, I already mentioned that the Earth is round. Okay, I'm not saying the Earth is round or flat. I said I don't know. I don't have a rocket. I don't know how many times I have to say that. That doesn't make sense. Anyways, and he says I don't have time to debate with you anyway. Thunderstorms prove spherical Earth in order to form hurricanes need a axis, etc. I said, okay, I don't debate. He said, you think we are getting to the point of losing to the Illuminati and Freemasons? That's weak faith. I never did. I ever say that?
well, I've never heard you say it, but
Yeah, okay. And I said, that's your opinion. Then he said, cloud can't form over flat surface. Air goes up and down. We won't. Earthquakes shift plates over. They spill over in a flat Earth. I don't think he wrote it right, but earthquakes shift plates over. They spill over in a flat Earth. Okay. And then he said, oh, now Sky is saying, what? And now he's saying, but in reality, they don't. So spiritual. Okay, whatever. So he's all right, whatever. Doesn't even make sense. I never said we're losing to the Freemasons or the Illuminati. Obviously, there's more fractions than that. That's just super. That's superficial. That's just common knowledge. I mean, of those two different fractions, I'm not saying we're going to lose to them. I said that when the fallen fell, it was 1/3 of the angels. So right there, by having 2/3 of the angels still in heaven, we already have a win-win situation going on. That's what I said, Brandon. If you were listening to any of my podcasts, I never said we were going to lose, so that's not true. Okay. A
well, that
square Earth is more plausible. Well, whatever, dude. I have no
gravy.
idea.
That
I
that
don't
is that
know,
is
dude.
the okay. Out of all the theories, I'm gonna say that's probably the most implausible, in my opinion. If you told me that the Earth is square, I would rather believe in a flat Earth than a square Earth, if those were my
Well,
choices.
right. Well, Admiral Byrd did do these expeditions. He seems like a legit guy. Now, I don't know, but he seemed pretty legit. I watched him talk. I looked into his eyes when he was talking. I listened to his voice. Um, he seemed pretty genuine to me. I mean, I'm pretty good judge of character, but I mean, I don't know. He wrote books on it. He had the money to go and explore. He said he came back and he talked about what he saw. So, have you done that, Brandon? I don't think so. I haven't. None of us have. So, You only can go by what other people have done. And also back in the day, it was people were saying the earth was flat. That was common back in the day. And if you said the earth was round, I think they killed you, right?
Yeah, at some time, yeah, you were considered a heretic.
Yeah. So it's not like, and then you have the flat earth maps. Then NASA for their own flag or their thing they use, it's a flat earth that they use too. So it's not, who knows? Who knows? But you can only go by all the evidence that there is. And it really doesn't freaking matter to me in the end. Does it change my life right now? No. I already know I've been lied to, so the betrayal's already been there. So I'm over that. So it really doesn't matter, and you can believe whatever you want to believe. Chubbs can believe what he wants to believe. Everyone in their little communities can believe whatever they want to believe. It doesn't affect me, and there's nothing to debate over it. You just make your point. I make my point, and that's it. So I don't know why you're carrying on. I don't even
Well,
know who you
well,
are.
well, at
Not
the at
you,
the
Chubbs. I'm talking about Brandon. I don't know why
oh,
he's
okay.
carrying on. Yeah,
Well,
doesn't.
I wish like if he, I wish he would join the hangout. I would actually, I'm not that kind of person that I do have my points of view, but I'm always open to
Right,
listening to somebody else's point of
right,
view.
right.
So I'm not
Exactly.
like that, but
Yeah, same here. I think we're pretty easy going. I mean, I'm not
yeah.
here saying, "No, you're wrong. It's not square. No, it's flat. It's not round." I'm not saying any of that. And you haven't heard me say that.
Well,
I'm saying I don't know. I don't
as
know.
far as
I'm leaning more towards the flat part because of the evidence that has came out, like Admiral Byrd, the NASA, the thing they use, like you were saying about the balloons that go up with the camera. You see, there's different evidence. So yeah, I'm gonna have to lean more towards that, but that doesn't mean my mind is set and I am correct and everyone's wrong. No, absolutely not.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely not.
Well,
I can totally be wrong. I don't know. Go
like
ahead,
I said,
Chubbs.
Rose, I mean, I again, when I was earlier talking about, the spinning tire idea of, when you're on, as because again, like I said, where the way that we are explained the whole idea of, well, first of all, the Earth is going in a circle, right? As
Right.
just even if it was stationary, but we're going in a circle around the sun, but now it's also spinning. So then you have to kind of, like I said, look at the analogy of when you're driving a car
Right.
and you're going down the road, the car is going forward as the Earth is going forward, but also it's spinning, right? Because that's what
Well,
happens when you drive a car, right?
well,
You're going,
I don't want to go into repeating because people are gonna hear you repeat it
yeah,
again when it's already been
yeah.
you made an
I was just
excellent
saying
point with
for
that.
him, like the analogy, right? So eh, for
I
me,
think
like
he's I think it's
oh,
more that
okay.
he's just trying to attack me. I think that's what it is. He's just trying to attack me because he's putting words in my mouth that I didn't even say. I never said that we're gonna lose.
Well, well,
No.
here's the challenge, Rose. Though it's like, I find one thing I find with any well, I will say belief system, because a lot of people or most people actually believe things, but they don't ever look at the kind of research the facts or do any critical thinking about what they're told, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they get told something, or they get taught it in school,
Mm-hmm.
and so they're indoctrinated into this thing. And so
Right.
they never bother. Oh well, I was told that I was taught this in school, for example, and so they have the belief system, but they never go, okay, well, yeah, somebody told me this thing, but um I don't know, am I gonna, like, it's like if I told you, for example, hey Rose, the sky is purple in the daytime, right? And
Right.
you're like, oh well, somebody told me the sky is purple. Why? And everybody gets taught, told the same thing, and everybody, and when you hang around with people, hey, hey Rose, isn't that a pretty, purple sky? And you're like, then one day you actually look up and you go, well, no, doesn't look purple. It looks blue. And
Right.
you're like, and then you go, you know what? No, the sky isn't purple. It's blue. They're like, Rose, you're a fucking idiot. No, we were told it was purple. What's wrong with you? Are you stupid? The sky is purple. And then you're like trying to explain. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Just take a minute. Look up, and you'll see that it's blue. And people
Right.
won't even want to bother to fucking look up and see the truth. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I deal with that all the time when I talk about chemtrails. They're like, "There's no such thing." Really? Have you looked into it? I mean, the government admits in geoengineering, so
But
I know,
again, yeah.
I know they're liars, but it's gotten to a point where they have to admit it because there's too much evidence.
Well,
But go ahead.
well, not only that. I talk to people about that too, and I'm like, okay, like here because I'm in, like I told you where I live in Edmonton. Like we're pretty far up north, so what I notice, and I do look up, and for whatever reason, in the wintertime they don't do the sort of because we get pretty cold temperatures here in the winter. But in the winter, I don't see any chemtrails here.
Mhm.
There's nothing, right?
Oh, good.
But in the summertime,
Mhm.
some days I'll wake up like let's say in the morning. I'll wake up in the morning and I'll look up because I do look up at the sky, and I look up and it's a clear sky. Okay, it's a nice summer day with blue skies, and by I will say by about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's one after the other, and the whole sky. Some days, not every day. I'm not gonna say every day, but on some days, it's just a white fucking haze. But there's no clouds. You know what I mean? It's not because
Mhm.
it's clouding over, but instead of seeing a blue sky, what I see in the sky is a white haze, and it is because of, and I don't even like to use the word chemtrails, but whatever, aerosol spraying. I don't know, what the good word for it is, but I can see that, and that's something I can see with my own eyes. It's not
Mhm.
an internet conspiracy theory or something I saw on a YouTube video. This is something I'm seeing with my own fucking eyes. That's
Same here. Same
there.
here.
You know what I mean?
I got my own personal pictures I've taken and I've posted that I took myself, and it's like X's
Yeah,
and triangles up in the sky.
yeah, yeah,
How is that?
absolutely.
Are you supposed to have a grid in the sky that just stays there for hours? I mean, I don't know about that. And it's like you can play tic tac toe up there with all the lines. You
Yeah,
know?
and
Yeah.
then not only that, there was I watched I, I don't know if I watched a video or whatever, but there was I think she was a stewardess, and I'm not saying she's an expert in chemtrails or whatever,
Hmm.
but it was about the height of the commercial airliners at what they're about I think 33,000 feet or whatever their cruising altitude is, and the point was made that the so-called planes that are you know spreading this shit, they're flying at lower altitudes, so they're not even commercial airliners because even the idea of that, a lot of people say, well, it's just the commercial airliners, but they just add stuff to the fuel, and I don't even think that's true. I think these are specific jets or whatever the fuck they are, and they're flying at actually a lower altitude than the commercial planes are doing. So this is like not even, you know, to me, it's not even just things being added to jet fuel. This is even a kind of a little bit of a bigger, well, if you want to say conspiracy, but yeah, and then the patterns, like you said, the patterns they fly. Commercial airliners don't fly across crisscross patterns like. Like I said, I've seen a lot of pictures of quote unquote aerosol spraying. I prefer the term aerosol spraying instead of chemtrails, but That's just me. If you're sticking to chemtrails, that's fine.
Well, they changed the name again, so they keep changing the name. So then when you say chemtrails, and then people go, well, what's that? So they constantly change the name of what they call it because this is documented. There's no disputing it. I don't care. There's no disputing it. This is documented. They admit it. People are taking pictures around the world of
Mhm.
this. This is, you just don't have X's and O's and triangles in your damn sky. I'm just being a smartass
Well,
about the
that's right.
O's,
Well, yeah, that's
but you
right.
don't.
Not
So,
from, again, like I was saying, is like it's not from, even if they added stuff to commercial airlines, like they put something in the fuel, you're not gonna get those patterns because no, it doesn't happen with commercial flights. So absolutely, yeah, I'm down with that. They are, you know, the reason what they're doing it for, I don't know. Some people have said that, maybe it's because, um, they're convinced that maybe, there is quote unquote global warming, and not because we're doing it, because something to do with the sun, and really, I've even heard theories like that they're doing it to actually really protect the planet from, I've heard, yeah, fuck shitload of theories about it. I'm not saying I believe that. I'm just saying I've just heard, you know, kind of the theory about the aerosol spraying. From one side is, oh well, it's about poisoning the planet and doing this and that. From the other side, to where they think they're actually protecting us because the sun is going to do things, and they're doing
We
it
need
to.
Captain Planet.
hey, Sky.
Who are you gonna call?
Sky Buster. Who? This guy, that guy, he posts a whole bunch of hangouts. He knows Pillbox, he knows Benny, he talks about comics, and he knows a hell of people I know. So I don't know if he's a troll or a shill or just bored. I have no. I'm not calling him either any of those. I'm just saying I don't know. He just likes a whole bunch of. We
All
have
right.
seven people in common. 7 people in common, which is okay. I have people that have like 36 people in common, but whatever. He likes to share hangouts. He does hangouts, but he knows a lot of people I know. So, I guess whatever. I just wanted to
All
make
right.
sure he wasn't a troll or a shill, so I had to find out who he was. Who
You
knows?
can never be sure, Rose, who's a troll and who's a shill.
Well,
It's
I'm not
hard.
saying he is. I'm not saying
No,
he
no, no.
is.
I'm
He
not
is. He's
saying you
probably
are
a really
saying
nice
that.
person. He's just making his point, and I respect his point. But I just want to know who are you? Because I've never spoken to you. So, just
Well, yeah,
okay.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I gotta make a phone call. I'll be back in a few minutes.
All right. All right. Hey, Scott, what are you doing? Oh. Hello? I guess I'm just going to stop this broadcast because, well, I'd like to say that. Alright, everybody, I'm ending this shit. Catch you on the flip side.